we don't want him anymore. Well, we heard you loud and clear, and it seems as though he will not be hosting next year. So you guys had your way. We did not have our way with Miss Serena Williams, who lost her feat to chase Wimbledon. She was looking for an unprecedented Grand Slam title. Now, she has not won a title in years, and this was said to be her comeback. However, she lost to a much less worthy opponent, who she very humbly and graciously congratulated. In the post-game interview, Serena was asked by a reporter if she thought, in her opinion, many fans are saying that perhaps if she wasn't being so Hollywood and her focuses weren't so necessarily vested in protesting and doing other things, perhaps she would win a title. And Serena very graciously answered, and I quote, "The day I stop fighting for equality for people who look like you and me will be the day that I am in my grave." Shout out to you, Serena, because, bitch, you are a bad bitch. You did not need to win the Grand Slam title because you will always be the champion to us. We love you. We love you for the sacrifices that you've made. And we definitely love you for giving us Olympia and for giving us Quay Quay, because they are a gift and a treasure. Last but not least, if you were anywhere near the New York City area Saturday night, as of 6:45 Saturday evening, New York City got so fucking hot that, bitch, the lights went out. Cut the lights out. And actually, that is not last but least, but that is one of the last stories that we're going to be giving in this pop culture segment. But yeah, so the reason why this is significant, you guys know that I'm a huge J-Lo fan. Shout out to the J-Lovers out there. Yes, we do have a name. We are the J-Lovers. Fuck you guys, okay? Don't be mad at us because our queen is a triple threat, okay? So there J-Lo was performing at Madison Square Garden when the fucking lights went out. Oh yes, all up and down the West Side Highway, which is the west side of Manhattan, the lights were out. So apparently a transformer blew in the city. Apparently there wasn't enough BTUs. It was fucking hot, blazing hip-hop and R&B in the city, and the girls could not take. So everybody had the air blowing, and I guess it was just too much for the city. So hot fun in the city was over. They had to evacuate Madison Square Garden, and the girls will now be rescheduled to see Jennifer Lopez tonight. For those of you who had tickets Saturday night, they will be honoring your ticket tonight in New York City. I wish I was going. But alas, people were stuck in the train stations underground. Obviously, you know, those trains are all electrical. So there was a lot to do, but you know, New York City is a city that, regardless of how rude and nasty everyone is in times of crisis, and I can attest to this because I lived through 9/11. I remember working on the 55th floor of the Empire State Building and looking out the window and seeing what was nothing short of a monumental tragedy occur in our city. But what I can tell you for sure is when a tragedy occurs, like much other families, New York City bands together to help one another. So Saturday night was no different in the city. And shout out to New York City. Shout out to April. I believe her name is she April? What's Omarion's baby mother's last name? Is it April Ryan? Is that what it is? April. Who's April Daniels? Am I thinking of something else? That's the political commentator, right? All right, so April Ryan. So did any of you guys see her Insta story about her popping her pussy for all these niggas because they want to fuck her? Oh, yeah. So she was wearing these gray boy shorts and she was like, oh, ASAP want to fuck this pussy. And Omarion want to fuck this pussy. And I was like, ew, girl, you're nasty. I didn't see that. So apparently she was a little bit roasty toasty. She looked like she was, I don't know what she was on, but she was definitely out here talking about how all these people want to fuck this pussy. And, you know, I know that she meant it. Well, I don't know for sure because I actually don't know her. But I would assume that she meant it in a very exaggerated, almost I'm just joking kind of way. But what it came across as is like a drunk high girl gets stupid. And, for a mother of two and a woman who, for all intents and purposes, has been really quiet as it pertains to her relationship with Omarion and their personal business. I mean, unless you sought out knowing about Omarion and April, I don't think that they were on our radar. So I don't know if she's set to be on one of Mona Scott's new VH1 telenovelas, but if she is, that would explain a lot. All right, well, that's all I got. What say you this week, guys? All right, so you guys, I need your help and I need your advice. Who's ready for a pull-up? Oh, God. All right. So as I told you, this week has been a very emotional week for me. It has been jam-packed with a lot of tears. And I wouldn't say this week because this week just started. It's Monday, for God's sakes. But last week and over the weekend. All right. So since we're talking about dating and our significant others and being a hot girl or being a city boy or whatever it is the fuck that you're being right now, chasing Bobby Brown, I don't fucking know what you're being. But, all right, so here's the deal with me. So I am currently talking to, dating, seeing, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you girls call this shit. But I am seeing someone who is significantly younger than me, right? And I don't care to give his age to y'all because, if you know, you know. But he's not in his 20s, so don't look at me with the side eye. But I think for the most part, what I can say is dating someone who is younger than you, especially when you are in your late 30s, right? Early 40s, whatever it is. Even in your mid-30s, dating someone who is younger than you, I think that when you've gotten into a more cruise control rhythm of your life, and you've grown up in a certain era, I think, for me, I understand the nuance of social media, right? I understand the nuance of being with someone younger than me, and I think that this weekend was the first time that I could actually feel the actual chronological gap between us. We had a social media argument. So he posted something. And if you guys are alive and well on social media, you saw that Joe Budden had posted something where he had a picture of a guy and a woman who were together, booed up, loving in a pool. And then it was side by side to a picture of Joe by himself in a pool, just kind of minding his business on his phone, whatever, right? So it basically said the summer that I thought I would have, him and the girl, or the guy and the girl, versus the summer that I'm having, which is just him on his phone looking awkward. And so the guy that I'm talking to posts that picture, and I'm thinking to myself, is that the summer that he is having? Because I thought he was having a summer with me, right? So then I proceed to, not publicly, of course, but privately let him know that I took umbrage with that post, because here's my thing. We talked about intentions as it pertains to a relationship, right? And I think that actions obviously speak louder than words. And so what I can say is that for the most part, I thought that I was involved in a situation where someone was, we were not exclusively seeing one another. However, we were seeing each other to the point and the existence of, hey, we're hanging out a lot and we are enjoying each other's company. Now, let me just stick a pin in this by saying that we have working in professional situations that keep us away from each other for a long period of time. More on his part than mine, but that's what the situation is. And so from that vantage point, it is difficult to see someone who travels for work or may not be around because of work, or maybe if you're in a long distance relationship or whatever the case is. Those things are difficult, but it is made more difficult when you have the added stress of social media to it. So for me, my biggest umbrage with that post was, I would never post anything that would give the illusion to anybody that I was somehow not seeing someone, because that would be a lie. That would not necessarily be the truth. And so I took umbrage because I felt like what he was doing was presenting a false reality. Even by reposting it, you are either agreeing to what you're seeing and or conveying the message that this is the current life that you're living, right? And that's just not the truth. Unless I don't know what the truth is, in that case, you have to tell me. Well, this led to a huge argument with, hey, maybe we shouldn't be friends on social media. I don't think that the argument should have led to, hey, maybe we shouldn't be friends on social media, because that just goes to show me that you're not going to stop your behavior, but maybe it's best that you aren't privy to what I post, because I'm going to post some stupid shit. That's how I felt, right? And that is probably more of a mindset that I lived under, because I don't know, I feel like I'm significantly older, and that's just where I'm at. Like, if your answer to me is, hey, maybe we just shouldn't be friends in the viral world, on Al Gore's internets, on Beyonce's internets, we shouldn't be friends because I'm not going to stop saying what I said, then maybe it just made me question, like, is this the relationship, or is this what I want to build on? And I don't know, what say you? Are you guys friends with potential people that you potentially date? Or are you guys friends on social media? Is that a thing? Or is that not a thing? Because I feel like if it's not a thing, that's cool, if that's what you guys decide. But if it's not going to be a thing because one party presumes that the other party can't handle what they're going to post, then maybe you shouldn't post those things, right? I don't know. I wish somebody would have told me that dating in 2019 was going to be this hard, because I would have just went ahead and bit the bullet 10 years ago and just married whatever dumb nigga was standing around. Honestly. Because dating right now seems to just be a huge bone of contention for me. I still find it weird to get on the nasty girl apps and just be like, oh, hey, weird person on the other side of the app who's asking me for naked pictures, who feels the need to become so comfortable with me and pull up to a seat at my table that you can ask me for a naked picture of myself, but you cannot pay for a meal for me? Nigga, get the fuck out of here, okay? Fuck out of here. To me, and, we've talked about the pictures before. That's just not my thing. It is just not my thing, right? But, I feel like I also understand that there's balances that you have to make. Now, a friend of mine told me that the hardest relationship that you will have is the relationship that you have after having the fucked up relationship, right? I just celebrated my first year anniversary of going through a really horrific domestic violence physical situation with my ex. And this is probably the first person that I've talked to seriously since that situation a year ago. And not that I haven't gone out on dates or, whatever, talked on the phone to people, but I didn't take them seriously. I actually was trying to, put forth the effort to take this seriously. And now I'm just wondering, like, is it too soon? Can I handle this? I don't know. I need you guys' help. I need your feedback. I need prayer, because the devil is busy. Oh, okay. I want to leave you guys with this note.